All right. Today we are starting new Android application development video tutorials using Android Studio. So as you can see, my first video tutorial, that is how to download and install Android Studio. That video tutorial teach you how to download Android Studio and how to install Android Studio on your PC. And then also how you can store your SDK, how to download SDK, and how to set up an emulator device, which is your Android device on which you can test your Android application. So in this video tutorial, I'll give you complete introduction about Android Studio environment. So don't be panic, just use with me that you just make sure you are familiar with these things when I was telling you that. So when you open by the first time Android Studio on your PC, it will display a window like this. It contains right 5 options, you can create your own new Android Studio project from scratch. You can also import Android Studio, existing Android Studio project. You can check out from version control. You can import Eclipse projects. You can also import an Android code sample. These are things not much concerning with this tutorial. So we are just concerning with the first option, that is start a new Android Studio project. So I'm just clicking on that. So as you can see, it is displaying my application name, company domain, and package name. Include C++ support is not a concern right now, so we are just leaving it. So I'm just naming my application, which is Toast. So you can change your company domain, developer, whatever you want. So what's your package name will be developer.toast. Include C++ support, doesn't concerning with our doesn't concern with our current video tutorial, so I'm just leaving it. So here is the project directory. You can see these are the project directories. So I'm just renaming it because it's my application selected my application directory path, so I'm just using it the user anonymous and Android Studio projects. So I'm just clicking on that, hit OK. So I have selected my Android Studio project directory, so I'm just hitting the next button. So there are five more options. So we are concerning with the phone and tablet. So we are concerning with phone or phone and tablet. Minimum targeted API level is 15, which is Android 4.0.3 ice cream sandwich. So after selecting or checking this box, we are moving next. So there are a lot of activities. So when you are building your application from scratch, so you have to select this empty activity. So hit next. So here is our activity name. A Java class is also called as activity, and an XML layout or XML file also called layout. Remember these 2 points, which is more important when you will be in an interview, that mostly people use these names like activity and layout. So don't get confused with this. Activity is your Java class and layout is your XML file. So I'm just naming it main activity. You can also rename it whatever you want, and you can also rename your layout file. So I'm just hitting finish. So it will took some time to build your Gradle project modules and Gradle projects. You will have to wait for that. So as you can see, building Toast Gradle project info. It's building your Gradle file, which is your core file of your application, which will contain your jar files like app.Compat, material design support library, Google Play services, GCM ads, etc. So it will took some time. Okay, after some time, when the processing of that new Android Studio project is finished, you will see something, your activity class, which is your Java class, with the name main activity, and the second is your layout file, just like this. This is your design view. That XML file contains two more, which are, sorry about that, which are design view and the text view. Text view contains your XML code, and the design is your design view, which is your GUI, means graphical user interface objects. So let's start with your project structure. As you can see, this is your app, which is purely your app core part. So we are opening that app. It will contain three further subdirectories: manifest, Java, and resource directory. Rest mean resource directory. Manifest directory contains Android manifest.xml. It's a core part of your application. It will contain your permissions, like internet permission, phone state permissions, camera permissions, etc. And when you will create new activity, not just fragment or other kind of things, you have to write it down here. Just like main activity, I have created that project with the main activity class. You have to write it down within your Android manifest. If you will not write down your activity within the Android manifest.xml file, that app will crash automatically. So be sure about that. So after that, second directory, you can, as you can see, Java will contain further three subdirectories, which is your packages of Android application. We are concerning with the just first one, which is your original Java class files package. Other ones are for testing purposes, so we are not concerning with us. So we are opening that developer.toast package, and within that package, it will contain or it contains main activity class. So, as you know, there might be you don't know about that one package can contains multiple classes. So we are done with the Java directory. So when we will open resource directory, as you can see, there are furthermore subdirectories within the resource directory: drawable, layout, map, and values. Drawable is basically used to support multiple screen densities. Like you can use background designing or XML files. You can put down within the drawable directory. You can support multiple screen sizes using these directories. Next is your layout. When we will talk about layout, you will get to know that your activity underscore main.xml file within that directory exists, which is layout contains every screen that you designed within your application. Next is map. Map is just holding your default app icons, like as you can see, IC launcher, HDPI. These are multiple screen densities. So every icon is supporting different screen densities, as you can see. So let's move on. Next directory is values. As you can see, values contain multiple XML files, light colors. So what colors, what is the colors functionality? Colors mostly used with the designing of your application. Dimensions is basically used to some used for some padding, some margins. Then strings.xml, you can store any strings within that XML file, and you can refer with the design view of that application using that strings.xml. Styles is basically used to design your application. Mostly you have heard about material design. So we are done with our Android application view. So when you will go to the menu, a lot of menu options will be there. First is file. You can create new project, open new project, you can close, and a lot of more options. So the most important is tools. Now you can update your Android SDK by clicking tools menu option. Then within that tools, you will see Android sub option. So when you click on, or you can hover the cursor on the Android option, as you can see a lot of options will be there, like Android SDK Manager, AVD Manager, sync project with Gradle files, Android device monitors, and a lot of things. As you can see, Android SDK Manager is that module which will download your API levels. Like we are dealing with the minimum SDK, which is API level 15, which is for Android 4.0.3, which is ice cream sandwich. So you will be able to update your API levels. You can download Google Play services, other directories, or other supporting libraries. You can download using this SDK Manager. When we click on that SDK Manager, as you can see, it will display a windows like this. So as you can see, I have downloaded a lot more, like ice cream sandwich, jelly bean, Kit Kat, lollipop, marshmallow, and a lot of API levels. So on the top you can see the SDK platforms, SDK tools. So these are the tools by the time I needed, so that I have downloaded it. So SDK update sites, you can update your SDK from these links given within your SDK update sites option. So you can download API levels from here, SDK. So when we go with the Android options again, as you can see, one option is AVD Manager. What is AVD Manager? AVD stands for Android Virtual Device, which is your Android application testing device within your PC. As you can see, when I click on that AVD Manager, it will display me some already curated virtual devices, Android Nexus 5X, and so on. So you can also create from that options. So we will see. We click on that create virtual device. It will display me some window like this. You can select which device you want, whatever you need. So I'm just selecting Nexus one, hit next button. So which API level I have downloaded? Marshmallow 23. So I'm selecting it, hit next. So you can name it your AVD file, then which orientation you want, portrait or landscape. So I'm just concerning with you can show advanced settings. As you can see, a lot of some memory and storage, device frame, advanced options are there. You can set up. So when we hit finish, it will start. I'm not gonna click the finish button because it will took some time. So I'm just click on the cancel button. So I'm just removing that this window. So the second option is build. Remember these two things, that when you will update your from a project or update your project files, you should clean your project or rebuild project, because mostly or not mostly, most oftenly people forget about to rebuild their project or clean the project, because errors occurring again and again, but they forgot to rebuild the project. So make sure you rebuild your project every time when you update your project files. So as you can see, there are four options at the bottom. Build APK. So what build APK does in your application, or what is the purpose of build APK? Build APK will generate a debug APK to test your application with your genuine Android device. So you can use this for that purpose. So generate side APK when you want to, when you are 100% sure that everything is completed within our application. So you can generate your side APK. So here is some things, or some factors that you have to fill out. We will not going to fill out right now because we are just starting these video tutorials. So we will get to know at the end of the video tutorials. So as you can see, after you can analyze your APK, means you can check what your application, where are the factors that your that crashing your application. Or deploy mode to app engine. You can deploy module, sorry, not mode, it's module. Deploy module to your to app engine. So when we will go through the activity underscore main.xml GUI format, as you can see on the left side, as you can see, widgets are there. You can scroll down, text fields, the layouts, containers, a lot of options are there. You can design whatever you need. So you can also preview these things that Android GUI format, or you can view also XML file or XML code of that GUI. So that there is a lot of things that you can be easily just drag and drop. As you can see, I'm just dragging and drop my text view on that design mode of the XML file. So a lot of factors are there. So it's impossible to cover in the in this video tutorial. So we will cover it one by one, so that you people can be easily understand everything that you want to need, that you want to understand. Sorry about my wording. So that's it for our first Android Studio introduction to Android Studio environment. So I hope you get everything correctly. So best of luck for the second tutorial, and be ready. Good luck.